Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Pokemon Battle Series, The School of Hard Knocks. So throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Pokemon Global Link Battle Spot Ladder, playing under the Championship Battle Rules, which are the equivalent rule set of the VGC 2017 season. So, I hope everyone's had a brilliant weekend, celebrating Easter, not celebrating Easter, just having a great time, and ready for some more Battle Spot action today. So, we are going to continue running the team that we played last week, which was the Tapu Lele Driblim team, and we're going to see how far we can kind of take it this week. So, we had some really interesting battles last week. We had a few shaky starts to some episodes, but we're not doing too bad at all. So let's pick our music. What are we going to go with? Let's go with... League Title Defense. And, like that, we have our first opponent of the day. Japanese player rated 1641, I think. Running a team of Aerodactyl, Tapu Lele, Buzzwole, Garchomp, Weavile and Gigalith. So some really interesting picks here. Stuff like Aerodactyl, we don't see too much, and the Weavile. It's definitely something we've hardly seen at all in this format this season. So very interesting picks there. We've obviously got the Buzzwole and the Gigalith that are going to be the big bulky Pokemon that we need to be careful of, and the Garchomp is just Garchomp. So how are we going to approach this? Because if we lead Tapu Lele Drifblim, we are going to be threatened by the Rock Slide or potential Z-move from that Aerodactyl. It could become quite problematic. And the Gigalith puts on a lot of pressure against Drifblim as well. So I do feel like I want Intimidate support here with the Arcanine. Arcanine's really good. It puts a lot of pressure onto the Buzzwole, the Weavile, and it offers Will-O-Wisp support as well against the other physical attacker. So we'll lead off with my Arcanine. I am going to bring my Celesteela because it's a nice switch into any Ice type, Rock type moves and Psychic type moves that could be potentially coming out. And I am going to round things off with my Garchomp. So we'll go with those four, launch into the first battle of the day, and hopefully get a good result. That's what it's all about, isn't it, guys? Pokemon, winning. Now, it's not all about winning, but, you know, winning is a big part of it. It's just how we go about doing it. So hopefully we can kind of transition and show how we can kind of win this one. So, I think the biggest thing on my opponent's team that I'm a bit need to prioritize getting rid of is that Buzzwole. It could be pretty threatening to a lot of my Pokemon, and I need to preserve my Tapu Lele as best as possible to make sure that I've got it for when I need to take it down. So we see my opponent lead off with the Weavile Aerodactyl. We will get the Intimidate off with our Arcanine, which is going to be massively important. We know that the Weavile can't go for a Fake Out because of the Psychic terrain. Both our Pokemon are grounded. And that Aerodactyl can either go for a Tailwind, it can go for a Sky Drop on either of my Pokemon, or just go for a Rock Slide. Now Arcanine isn't really too threatened outside of the Rock Slide. But then we've always got to be careful in case we see something like a Continental Crush coming out from that Aerodactyl, which would, even at -1, be able to pick up the KO. So what I'm going to do is switch out my Arcanine, preserve it into my Celesteela, and just protect my Tapu Lele this turn. And we'll just see what this Aerodactyl goes for. Because it can go for the Tailwind, but it's not going to make too much difference to us in this position because both my opponent's Pokemon are outspeeding us at the moment anyway. So we do switch in our Celesteela, protect our Tapu Lele, and we'll see what is coming out from my opponent's Pokemon. We are going to see a Tailwind from the Aerodactyl. And the Weavile is going to go for a Poison Jab. So that's quite interesting. Now we could potentially switch in our Arcanine again, or our Garchomp. The thing is, switching Garchomp on a Weavile, it's always a bit of a risk. Or I could just, yeah. I think I will. I think I'm going to switch in my Arcanine. get another Intimidate off, and go for a Heavy Slam onto that Weavile slot. So the Weavile does withdraw. We see the Buzzwole come in. Okay. So this isn't too bad, because we're bringing the Arcanine in. We're going to get another Intimidate onto that Aerodactyl, get an Intimidate onto the Buzzwole, and we'll be threatening that Buzzwole this next turn. We'll see what this Aerodactyl goes for. Probably just a Rock Slide, I'd imagine, in this situation. But it is a Skydrop. So, that's alright. I don't mind that too much at all. So we'll get the Heavy Slam off the Celesteela. Do some decent enough chip damage. And I think I could double into the Buzzwole here. Or I could just go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Aerodactyl. I'd imagine the Buzzwole might go for an all-out pummeling into my Arcanine slot. But I don't know whether it'll KO on -1. That is the question. I think I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp onto the Aerodactyl. No, actually I'm not. I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Buzzwole, and I'm going to go for a Heavy Slam into the Aerodactyl. Take it down to that potential sash that it is holding. So we do see the Skydrop come out. Because of the -2 that it's on, it's not doing that much damage. And we are going to see that all-out pummeling from the Buzzwole. So this will really come down to whether we can survive on -1. I'm not too sure. I don't know this calc on my Arcanine. Might be into the Celesteela. If it's into the Celesteela, we'll be fine. We will be able to take it. But it is into the Arcanine. So let's see if Arcanine can take this. And this muscly cockroach. Oh, and we just survive on HHP. So we are going to get the Will-O-Wisp off into the Buzzwole. Of course, because of the Unnerve ability on the Aerodactyl, our berry isn't actually activating. So hopefully this isn't sashed. If it's sashed, it is sashed. Okay, so right. But we did get the Will-O-Wisp off onto the Buzzwole, so that's huge. So that's really nice. So I think this turn, what I'll do, switch in my Tapu Lele, and I'm going to go for another... I'm going to go for another Heavy Slam into that Aerodactyl slot. Hopefully pick up the KO this time. Because we want to get rid of the Aerodactyl, get our Arcanine back in so that berry activates and we've got a bit more longevity so we can kind of make a bit more use out of it. Rather than just protect it here or let it go down potentially. At least as well we've got it to switch in to kind of make use of that Intimidate ability again. Just see my opponent's Aerodactyl go for a Rock Slide. Hopefully we don't get flinched here. And a Poison Jab. So my opponent predicting that switch very nicely there. But because of the burn, not doing too much damage, and we don't get poisoned either, which is huge. So we do get the Heavy Slam off onto the Aerodactyl. We are going to get a Beast Boost from that as well, so that's super nice. And there should be maybe one more turn of Tailwind to go, I think. Yeah, I think there is. Is there? No, Tailwind peters out this turn, so Tailwind has gone. But our Psychic Terrain is going to run out this next turn, so this is another thing that we need to kind of keep in mind. We know this Weavile, it can go for a Fake Out here onto our Celesteela. But what I'm going to do is actually just switch in my Arcanine. So our berry should activate when we do switch in, and I'm just going to go for another Heavy Slam into the Weavile slot. We know that the Weavile can't be sashed because the Aerodactyl was, so we should, if we can get this off, pick up a clean KO. But my opponent just forfeits, so that was a bit easier than what I thought. So good games to my opponent there. I don't know what my opponent had in the back as his fourth Pokemon, but I think it might have just been a bit too much for him to kind of come back after losing the Aerodactyl and not having any more option for the Tailwind. So that's one thing we'll never know, guys. But we will jump straight into our next game and see how we get on. Hopefully we can kind of bring Snorlax to this next match. I haven't been really able to bring Snorlax to many games at all. Let's go Galadian this time. the old Galadian music that we used to play all the time. We haven't had it for a while. Yeah, we haven't really brought the Snorlax to too many games, and it's a bit of a shame. But I feel when, and I'll go through this in the team review episode when we do that. Snorlax was quite a unique pick, and it was put on there for just certain situations. And like I've said in many team previews where we've seen things like Kartana and stuff like that, I'm completely put off bringing Snorlax in situations like that, because we know the Sacred Sword, it ignores any defense boosts or anything like that. So the Sacred Sword is doing constant good damage every turn, and it's just too much for Snorlax to kind of operate well. So that's one reason, but hopefully this game is a bit different. So we see our next opponent's team with Alolan Sandslash, Alolan Ninetales, Kartana, Nihilego, Alolan Marowak, and Garchomp. So he's got the Hail mode there with the Alolan Sandslash and Alolan Ninetales, the Nihilego, the Kartana there that's kind of obviously not that great for Snorlax, the Marowak, which is going to put a lot of pressure onto the Celesteela and the Garchomp. So, let's think. Arcanine's very good here. The Intimidate, again, puts a lot of pressure on Sandslash and Ninetales. We do need to be careful of Nihilego. But I definitely want to bring it to this game. I definitely want to bring my Garchomp as well. It's going to put a lot of pressure onto the Nihilego, the Marowak. You need to be very careful though around that Hail Call. But I'm very tempted here just to go for a leader of Celesteela, Arcanine, Garchomp, and I'll bring Tapu Lele in the back, I think. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll go with. So we'll lock in with that, and we'll see how we get on against this team. I don't think it's going to be very easy. There's not, on surface value, not any obvious speed control here, but we've got to remember that Nihilego could potentially carry Trick Room and set up the Marowak. So we do need to play it very carefully. The Gladium music's so cool. I love it. I don't know if, is it loud enough? I'll turn it, yeah, I've got it like full volume, so hopefully you guys can hear it as well. So we're going to lead off with the Celesteela, the Arcanine, and my opponent leads off with the Ninetales and Nihilego. So that Nihilego straight away putting a lot of pressure onto my Arcanine, with a potential power gem. But then in the same regard, we're putting a lot of pressure onto the Nihilego with our Celesteela here, so it's very, like, I totally expect my opponent to go for Aurora Veil and attack into the Ninetales here. And I think once the Aurora Veil's up, I don't know if a Heavy Slam's going to be enough to pick up the KO. So I'm going to go for, I think I will, should I go for Snarl? Snarl might not be too bad here. Break a potential Sash, lower their damage output as well, and it'll allow me to protect next turn, which would be the big thing. So I think I'm going to go for that. Yeah. So let's see what my opponent goes for. Just withdraws the Ninetales, brings in the Garchomp. Okay. And we see a Thunderbolt. Alright. Okay. We should take this though. So we'll get the Snarl off. It does hit that Nihilego. Break any potential Sash there. And we'll get the Heavy Slam, which will be able to pick up the KO now, which is super nice. Right, and we get the Beast Boost as well, so that's massively important. Garchomp and everyone else in the field is now going to take a round of Hail. I wonder if that Ninetales will come back in now. And the Arcanine, the Garchomp really threatens with a Tectonic Rage into my Arcanine slot as well, which is not ideal. So I either have to, and the thing is, if the Ninetales comes in, I don't really want to switch in my Garchomp on a potential Blizzard. So I could protect here. I could protect my Arcanine here. Or I could switch out into Tapu Lele. So I've got it, but that's kind of sacking my Tapu Lele really, and I don't particularly really want to do that. I think if, with the boost, I think a Heavy Slam will be enough with the Hail Chip to take this Garchomp down. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to protect my Arcanine this turn from any potential Tectonic Rages coming out. So let's see if this Ninetales goes for a Blizzard or an Aurora Veil here. Goes for the Aurora Veil. So at least that means we're not getting hit by any Blizzards this turn, so that's a plus. See the Garchomp actually go for a Swords Dance, so calling my bluff there a little bit, which is not ideal, but we will get the Heavy Slam off. And this should still do good damage, even behind that Aurora Veil. It's not bad damage. Now the Garchomp is so threatening. We can't protect our Arcanine this turn. So even an Earthquake is... just an Earthquake will be enough to take out my Arcanine. So I've got to really think about sacking something here. Might be worth just bringing my Garchomp in to go down and take the potential... I'm going to protect my Celesteela here, and I'm going to switch in my Garchomp. I think at this point, I'd rather lose Garchomp than anything else, because if he's got the Sand Slash in the back, Garchomp's not really going to be that great against it. So, I think Tapu Lele... Ooh, I don't know. It's all tough decisions, but I think this is probably... This, in my head, is going to be the better situation. So we see a Freeze Dry into my Celesteela, and a Rock Slide from the Garchomp, so working out slightly better. We see the Garchomp's actually Life Orbed. Alright, so we're not going to see a Tectonic Rage come out from it at all. This changes everything massively, because that was the big threat. Obviously it's going to be able to nuke something. Now the next time it attacks, it's kind of potentially putting itself into KO range from the recall damage and the Hail Chip as well. I think here what I'm going to do, switch in my... could switch in my Arcanine. Because my Arcanine should be able to take at least 2 attacks, even on +1 Garchomp. We'll probably see a Blizzard come out though, that's the only issue. For my Garchomp, and I don't think my Garchomp's actually going to be able to take a Blizzard now. I'm going to switch in my Arcanine for my Celesteela. I really want to try and preserve my Celesteela. And I'm going to go for a Rock Slide, just to potentially break the sash on that Ninetales if we get through this turn. Because my opponent might think the Garchomp will just protect here. So we'll bring in the Arcanine, get the Intimidate off onto the Garchomp, just reduce that Sword Stance that it's boosted up on before. See an Encore into the Celesteela slot and another Rock Slide. So as long as we don't flinch here... Ooh, an Arcanine just hangs on. Okay. So, yeah, and that Garchomp is going to go down to the hail damage this next turn. So as long as we get a Rock Slide off, yeah, we get it off and hit. So that Garchomp's going down. We break the sash on the Ninetales. So things looking a lot better for us now. And I think this is the last turn of hail as well, so we can stall this out. We've still got all 4 Pokemon at the minute. Let's see what my opponent's last Pokemon is. And it is the Sand Slash. Okay. Very threatened. from both sides of the field now. I need my Arcanine and I need my Celesteela, I think, more than anything else. So I think here I will bring in my Tapu Lele for my Arcanine. And I'm going to go for a Poison Jab into the Ninetales. Just in case we get an attack off. I totally expect my Garchomp to go down here. From a Freeze Dry, an Icicle Crash, or Blizzard. And we see, is this a Tectonic Rage? So we're going to see Tectonic Rage come out. And it's going to be probably into the Tapu Lele slot, I'd imagine. So a combination of this and Blizzard will probably be enough to take us down. But you never know. Lele's pretty bulky, so I might be able to actually survive this. Yeah. But, oh, and a Freeze Dry into the Garchomp. So actually Lele is going to get through this turn, so that's alright. And the hill should end now, I think. Yeah. Okay. So now, I'm going to bring in the Arcanine. Get an Intimidate off. We do have to be careful for the Earthquake from the Sand Slash, but we'll be able to take a -1 Earthquake pretty easily. So I think what I'll do is just go for a Psychic. Actually, we might see that Ninetales Protect here. So in case of it doing that, I'm going to go for a Shattered Psyche into the Ninetales, and I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz into the Sand Slash. Oh, we see a Sheer Cold. Oh my god. Okay, so, but we managed to dodge that one. Get the Flare Blitz off into the Sand Slash, pick up the KO, and we'll be able to round the game off nicely with a big Shattered Psyche in style. So, yeah. And I think we've played that one alright. I think we played that one okay. So, not too bad, but not an easy matchup by any means. I think it made it a lot easier by the Garchomp having the Life Orb item, and that extra bit of chip that was kind of knocking it down every turn from the recoil from that item just made it a lot easier to manage, and there was no threat for a Tectonic Rage after that Swords Dance. But even on +1, after we got an Intimidate onto it and they got the Rock Slide onto my Arcanine, you saw how powerful that was. We just managed to kind of hang on. And that's been a bit of the story here in these two games. You know, Arcanine kind of in that first game just managing to hang on just with a sliver of health. And then come back and put a lot of pressure on and kind of close the game out. And again, they're really helping shut down the Hail Mod, the Ice Pokemon in that team. So it's not a bad episode, guys, and a good way to start the week for Monday. But we will leave it there, and we'll pick up again tomorrow and see if we can climb a little bit further up the ladder. I'll touch wood while I'm saying that, because it's normally a curse, and find some really good opponents and some really good matches for you guys. As always, guys, it's been a pleasure having you here with me on the channel today. And if you have enjoyed the episode, guys, please leave a like on the video. It's massively appreciated, as is your support as always. If you're new to the channel, this is the first time watching, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get all the daily updates for when the School of Hard Knocks episodes come out. So they're your daily update uploads. We've got QR code specials, which are normally, I'm going to set to a Wednesday now, where we play random QR code teams and just put them through their paces on the Battle Spot ladder. If you've got any requests for those for this week, we've had one already, so do get your requests in the comment section below, and I will start making a list of stuff. We have got one already mentioned from last week, so I'm going to run that this week. I will leave that as a surprise though for Wednesday's episode. And also to subscribe, you get all the updates for when the team review episodes and all the other things coming out as well. So there is some big things coming, so do subscribe if you're not already. But guys, we'll leave it there. Thanks as always for kind of tuning in. I hope your Monday evening is going very well, and it continues to go very well, and I will see you tomorrow on Tuesday for another episode of School of Hard Knocks. And until then, guys, take care of yourselves, whatever you're doing, and yeah, as always, until then, bye bye.